Let's pay no attention to that burnt down John Deere. Hey guys, thank you guys so much for clicking the video. There's a lot of combines I see in this video, and I'm just touring around southern Saskatchewan. So if you're curious on what Canada is like, or if I misspoke anything, I do apologize. But correct me down in the comments. Comment if you guys have any questions. Have you guys ever been to Canada? I would love to know. And if you guys want to support the channel, be sure to hit that like button. Thank you. Well guys, good morning, good afternoon, and good evening to all. Welcome to Hartung Family Farms from Canada. How are you guys doing today? I am in southeast Saskatchewan today and for the next month. And I just figure it's a Sunday, I got the day off, I'm just out driving around, see what I can see, and it's harvest time and for most of the crops in this countryside I should say. There's flies everywhere in this car. And driving around, see what we can see. But first off, one thing I am genuinely surprised at, there is a lot more cattle in this part of the country than I thought there would be. Like a surprising amount. I saw one big JBS packing plant about an hour from where I'm at right now. And I swear, like every 3 or 4 sections, there's cows on it. I was not expecting that. I was just thinking this area is just all prairie land, all farmed for, you know, pulse crops like peas, mustard, etc. You got barley, wheat, and canola, obviously. But another thing I'm really surprised at is there's corn here. Like, I'm assuming it's just for silage because, I mean, this corn looks pretty rough. For one, it wasn't planted in rows like how our planters are. They're planted with a row planter. So they're planted 30 inches across and they have meters on it. This field was drilled, actually. So, I mean, it makes sense why if they need corn for silage or whatever it is, they wouldn't buy a row crop planter just for 300 acres of corn or whatever. They'll use the drill that they already have. For those of you guys who don't know, a drill basically has it's more or less a controlled spill to get your crops into the ground, where a planter actually meters it out. And with a planter, you can only go so big without getting ridiculously expensive. But a drill, you can have a lot of capacity, so a massive cart you can tow along with it, and you can have a wide implement. They're building up to 100+ foot drills now. Anyway, that's besides the point. Up here, everything is drilled for the most part. I did see one field that was row crop planted for corn, but that besides the point. Anyway, everything is drilled, so they drilled this corn. And corn you do not see drilled at all around my area, or just about anywhere in the States. You don't see them drilled. Now, I'm not saying that it never happens, but it's a big rarity. Here's a wheat field. Another thing in this area, there's oil, lots and lots of oil. It's basically farm ground and oil. But there's cows here. This is a wheat field that was cut off, and now it looks like it's getting grazed out for cattle. But I'm just walking over here to this cornfield, and like I said, it looks pretty rough. Grasshoppers are really bad. But it looks pretty rough. There is not a lot of ears on this corn. So you can kind of see. It's very sporadic. Some of the corn's 5-6 feet tall. Some of it's knee length. So a foot, 2 feet tall. But the corn that they do have, there's not going to be much on there. So like this is some of the nicer stand right here. A little bit of small ears on these things. But man, it's not going to yield much at all. Maybe, I don't even want to guess, 30 to 50 bushels, something like that. Oil well going in the background. Interesting. So yeah, this is an interesting area, that is for sure. These guys are in a severe drought. I'm essentially in between Regina, Saskatchewan, and Minot, North Dakota. That gives you guys a general area of where I'm at. And these guys are in a pretty severe drought up here. There's some pockets that got some rain, so they're going to have a little bit better of a crop. But I mean, some spots, I flew into Calgary and drove over here. Some spots, especially out by Calgary, I mean, the wheat was maybe 6-8 inches tall. It was pretty bad. And there's literally a fly on the lens. Yeah, there. So yeah, let's keep driving, see what else we see. I'm going to make a kind of a neat video of where I'm at. What all crops we are. Hopefully we can see some harvest. I don't have my drone with me. This is actually going to be all on my phone, so apologize a little bit in advance for the shakiness, but let's go drive and see what next crop that we see. So we've seen corn, and that is a cut wheat field. All right, so this was a wheat or barley or oat or some sort of field that was actually cut off. So they didn't harvest it. They actually just cut it with like a mower or something, and they baled it. Obviously for the cattle that I didn't know they had around here. So we've seen, so that's that type of field. Might even been a ryegrass field, I'm not sure. There's the cows. Hi, cows. And they also do have quite a bit of hay that's made around here. It's all grass hay, so they bale ditches and sloughs and whatnot, just whatever they have. I don't think they have a lot of dedicated like alfalfa fields that they cut for grass. So some of the people actually have quite a bit of hay that's stacked up. There's one big stack there, another one right there. So there's quite a bit. I mean, I feel like those bales are gonna be worth their weight in gold around here come this winter, especially because it's, like I said, they're in a pretty bad drought around here, so there's not getting a lot of yield out of it, especially not a lot of mog yield or straw yield. And let's pay no attention to that burnt down John Deere. We'll just forget we saw that. Here's another thing I've never seen before. So yeah, that just looks like a normal drill, right? Yeah, I mean, it's like a 60, 70 foot wide John Deere drill, John Deere cart and everything, yeah. Nothing too special there, but wait, there's more. Now that's freaking cool. You got an air cart, so I can get on that. You got an air cart, a drill, and then another air cart. That is awesome. That would be one heavy beast. That's got to have at least 1,400 cart capacity right there. Man, the hydraulics and the weight and power you need to haul that around. Wow. But you could probably get a lot done with that thing. That is one cool unit. I wish that was close to the road. I'd walk out there. That'd be kind of neat, but I'm not going to walk on someone's property. And here's another cornfield. Ugh. Yeah, that is corn. Not good. So right here along the side of the road, peas and a lot of grasshoppers. So this is a pulse crop. I'm not sure exactly what type of peas or anything like that. I just know that when you harvest them, you need a flex header. So a header that's gonna go right on the ground, because you can kind of see they're growing all the way to the ground. I mean, there's some pods that are 2-3 inches off the ground. So you need to have something that really shaves the ground. And one thing that I'm noticing is there's a lot of shatter already. These peas are ripe and must be starting to pop open. So what a pea looks like, so I'm guessing that's a yellow field pea. Not sure, but this is just right on the ground. So that's interesting. So that's a pulse crop. You see quite a bit of these, what looks like these, around the countryside. So we'll see what else we can see. Maybe someone can tell me what this crop is. It looks like it's interseeded, like every 5 feet of drill is like every other crop. It's like canola, wheat. Really, really interesting. I've never seen anything like that. That is, what's the point of that? Anybody know? Guess, or put something in the comments down below if you guys know. And also, here's that's a field of flax right there. Right there. Pardon my dirty windows, but this is also a combine you do not see in my parts of the country at all. Like I haven't seen one within 2 hours of me. It's a New Holland combine. It's a TR twin rotor 890s. It's a class 8 combine, their newer one. Neat. You see a lot of New Holland choppers, but not a lot of New Holland combines. And before I forget about it, she was actually, there's two things about that combine. She had a belt pickup on, so basically she wasn't able to physically cut any standing crops. She was only going to pick up windrows on that with that combine, and she had a covered hopper. You don't see, that's an interesting thing around here. I don't know why, if they have it because of rain or what is, but basically it's a cover on your grain tank. So ours are wide open to open the air and everything, so you can fold it down and stuff. But hers, it's a hard shell cover that down the center you can roll a tarp over to completely seal it, or you can have it open to have like an overflow or something. That's interesting. I don't really know the point of that around here, but that's just me. And obviously you cannot have harvest in Canada without canola. Canola is a very, very main crop here. I mean, it's literally called Canadian oil. That's what canola stands for. And it's basically a small seed that you harvest, and it's used for like vegetable oil, cooking oil. That's what it's mainly used for. And you see that all over around here. And there is a wheat field right here. A lot of wheat and cereals around here. That's wheat. That is also wheat. It's small grain country around here. It's mainly just cereals and pulse crops for the most part around here. And obviously canola is an oil seed. I'd say for the most part the main two crops I've seen around here are wheat and canola, but there is some barley. Barley's pretty much cut. Some field peas that are pretty much cut. Lentils are all cut around here. Canola hasn't been cut yet. I have seen some flax, some mustard. Mustard's really green. I have seen a little bit of soybeans and corn that obviously aren't ready yet. Wide mix of crops around here. It's really challenging to be able to harvest all of these, I would think. And this is canola. It can either be cut like this, standing, which is what this will be cut, or it can be cut cut off and dropped in a windrow like we just saw earlier. And yeah, canola looks like this. Just pods, crack it open. It has little black beads. Drop most of them. But anyway, you get the idea. They're basically just little black beads. There's a lot of them out there. Seed count per bushel is a lot, so just because there's such a tiny seed. And it's grown a lot in Canada. That's why it's called Canadian oil. It's called oilseed rape in most of the other parts of the world. Here it looks like a 97 or 98 70. Nice Ford New Holland, Ford Versatile, or just a Versatile. Yeah. In the States, those are called a Ford Versatile. So 9760 STS, harvesting some wheat. The Borgo grain cart, gonna chase him in the, right there. It's a Borgo grain cart and looks like a McCormick tractor. Cool. Harvesting some wheat. And that tractor over there, in the States, that's a Ford Versatile is what they call it. But over here, I mean, Versatile, I think those were made in Canada. So probably just called Versatile. Cool. And I guess they probably have this thing here for a reason why, we don't really need to think about it much. They probably have this thing here for fire reasons. So if a fire breaks out, they can jump in this thing real quick and basically till up around where the fire is so the fire would run out of stuff to burn. Gosh, that's an interesting problem to have around here that we don't have back home. 2310 Versatile tractor. Combine's rolling out. Awesome. Oh, harvest is awesome, especially when you got 6 and 790s around. That's pretty neat. Look how dusty and hazy it is. Some of it's smoke, some of it's just harvest dust. I think a lot of it's just like smoke. So these little guys were just sitting in the middle of the road like a half mile back this way. So I'm guessing they got loose from this farm because as soon as I started driving down the road, they just started taking off and going back, running back home. What in the world? So I'm heading up to Regina to go to a football game to the Saskatchewan Rough Riders, and coming down the road about half a mile that way, I see a black combine pulling a header. Weird, I wonder who that could be. Looks like an Ideal. I wonder who that could be. That is one bad combine. This thing is awesome. Fit 9 combine with a Honeybee 250 flex head. That's awesome. Who knows? Might see this thing in the field some point. If you guys are curious and you want to see this thing run, I'll link the channel down below. Mike Mitchell's the guy's name. I just sat and talked with him for about 20 minutes. See you later, Mike. Check out these units. So another thing that's very, very, very common in southeast Saskatchewan, oil pumps, pump jacks, whatever you want to call them. These things are huge. This is a small one. It's 15 feet tall, probably more than that. Oh shoot, probably more than that, probably close to 20. Like I said, and this is a small one. Pretty neat. It's just right near the canola field I'm in, so I figured I'd walk next to it. Because I've never seen one up close, but all it does is it basically just got a motor that drives this cam that goes back and forth. You can kind of see it's got pins that basically just translate that circular motion into an up and down vertical motion, which teeters across the pin here. And it just teeters back and forth, sucking oil out of the ground from the, I forget what oil deposits underneath here, but it's the one in North Dakota, Montana, and southern Saskatchewan and Manitoba. Kind of neat. And I was told the bigger ones can pump, for every up and down, every pump, 1 to 5 gallons of crude. That's a lot, considering this thing's doing probably 10 pumps a minute. Hey everybody, long time no see. It's been almost a month since I've put out a video, pretty close. It's been a while, you can kind of see. Beard's been growing out the entire time I've been in Canada. I'm heading home in 3 days. So, it was a long month out in Canada, but I'm excited to be back home, excited to see what's been happening at the farm. I know we've had a lot of big projects done. We've had a lot of calves growing up. We've had a lot of concrete and construction happening on the farm, new equipment showing up, and we're starting silage harvest. So things are going to be really picking up around the farm. Silage harvest is just kicking off, and then soon after that, it's going to be soybean and corn harvest. So you're going to want to stay tuned, hit that subscribe button, and be sure to drop a like. And thanks you guys so much for watching. Have a good one.